here. So I have promised a few folks on You Now that I would do a question and answer video since I haven't been able to get back to everybody's messages and requests for different information about me. Because I'm in school full time, I haven't been able to get back to everybody, and I'm really sorry about that. But I did promise that I would answer a couple questions that people have been repeatedly asking me. So I have a couple questions that are a little bit more lighthearted and a couple questions that are not so lighthearted and a little bit more deep. So I'm going to go like one and one and then end on a good note so that we're all happy by the end. Pinned comment if you don't want to see me talk too much. I will have the times to each specific question and answer there, so you can just go specifically to that or whichever one's in between or to none of them. But I will have that comment there so you can just kind of pick which ones you want to hear me talk about. So I'm actually more of a dog person traditionally. I have 2 Cavalier King Charles at home. Queen Elizabeth, because they're like royalty. They like sit on laps for a living, usually in like the British area. I don't know in England. I guess in the royalty family they usually sit on laps. So we have a Queen Elizabeth, we call her Lizzie, and then we have a Princess Catherine. We call her Katie. But I do have my Finnick that I've rescued, so I've become really attached to him. I'm really partial to my Finnick boy, and I'd say I'm kind of like less of a dog person now. So I guess I'm a person, not really like a either or. Oh, most embarrassing thing I've ever done. Let's see. Okay, there's a lot. I make a fool of myself. A lot. So I guess the most embarrassing thing I ever did was at work. One time when I used to work at Lush Cosmetics, there was this guy, and a lot of the clientele tends to be guys that are a little bit more in tune with their feminine side, which there's nothing wrong with that. I most certainly am myself. But there was a guy there that definitely gave me the vibe that maybe he was interested in other guys. And I'm not saying that when a guy is feminine, he automatically identifies as homosexual, but I definitely had sort of a hunch. And I guess that makes me a bad person. I don't know, but I kind of had this feeling. And he was really cute, and I was giving him his arm massage, and he seemed like he was enjoying our interaction while we were talking about other things besides the products. So after his demo, I actually had my 15-minute break, and I walked by him at the food court because I was on my way to like fill my water, and I walked by him and I asked him if he had a boyfriend, and that's when it happened. Only that he decides to turn over on his right shoulder. Nobody has a girlfriend. And I was just like, okay, good. I was asking for a friend. Somebody normally asks a question like that, they're probably interested in them. Definitely because I confronted them to ask them that. It was definitely like, it was kind of implied that I was interested. And I never do stuff like this. Like, I never reach out first because I'm too insecure about stuff. So I did, and I really regretted it. Because then his girlfriend just decided to slide through. She was like, no, his girlfriend. And I've never been the same. My Hogwarts house is the lovely Slytherin. I must. Okay, let's see. Slytherin, yeah. I like Slytherin. And I also plus tend to root for the villains and things. I like destruction. They embody a certain level of savagery that I very personally identify with, spiritually, and in other ways. I went vegan 2 or 3 years ago when I decided that animals and other things are much better than humans, and that we do not treat our earth fairly, and this is one way that I can contribute to not being a sucky person, and that I can actually be a little bit more safe with my skin because dairy is very bad for your skin, and there are also other problematic things that come with consuming red meat and other meats and basically anything that's not a plant. So I'm vegan for good reasons. I can make a more in-depth video about this if people want to hear about it, but there's also people that do not like the whole vegan concept, so I know it's kind of a controversial topic and I didn't want to get lots of negative comments, but maybe I'll get over it and just make a video anyway. It's a rad life. Definitely try it sometime. I have got a lot of comments on sexuality and questions like pertaining to that and like who I prefer to date, whether girls or guys or somewhere in between, or whichever gender. And to be honest, when it comes to romance, I don't really have a preference of whatever gender you are. I'm pretty pan-romantic, but when it comes to sexual stuff, I haven't really been feeling like frisky. I have kind of not been, like, I'm just not in a good place myself to even really feel like that's something I want, and I've been thinking more and more that I might be asexual, but if there was going to be something sexual, I feel like it's not impossible for me to do something with a girl, but it'd be a little harder. It's not that I'm unattracted to girls, like I find them very attractive, it's just the whole vagine concept. That's the only part I can't completely get by. I'd say open-minded. Definitely open-minded. With the right girl, it could definitely happen. Okay, so this is actually a really hard one. Not in any particular order. This doesn't mean like the first one I like this or the last one. Just like broadly, these are my 5 favorite bands. It would probably be one would be Mayday Parade, because I feel like they're very poetic and I can resonate a lot with their lyrics. And I just have always loved their voices in the band. I don't even know any of their names. I'm more of like just loving the band and their songs and their lyrics. Not so much the artist in it, which is kind of like not very personal, but not really into the whole being a fan of other people thing. It's not really my vibe. 2 is water parks, because entertainment. That will suffice. All Time Low. I've like grown up with All Time Low from like 6 Feet Under the Stars all the way to like Western Renegade and Dirty Laundry, Future Hearts. I don't know. I just have always loved them. Alex Cathcart is my dear love. 4, MCR. Need I not say more? And the 5th and final band that I will list out of the hundreds that I love is the 1975. They have such a unique sound compared to all the other bands that I listen to, but they still manage to get my heart pumping and make me not hate them. So that's really good. And they kind of have like a nostalgic, like retro vintage vibe, but still are like kind of pop punk, indie nonsense things. So they're pretty high on my list as well. I don't date anymore, and the reason has to do a lot with just me not feeling ready, because I am not in the right place to date. I am too needy and I require too much attention, and it's just not reasonable to expect that in somebody else. Also, it's just unsafe and unreliable for me, because last time I was in a relationship, it only took me 2 weeks to get super attacked, and then they left, and I didn't do so good with the whole breakup process. It definitely left me in a slump. I need that kind of closure and like syllabus of dating. So basically I'm never dating again, unless someone is there and willing to be patient and very reassuring. So basically never. Also, 2018 makes it very impossible. Just the whole algorithm of the forming of feelings and swipe right, swipe left mentality. I'm just really not enthused. Favorite Disney movie? Oh, that's like asking me to pick my favorite chapter. That's not fair, but I will answer it. I would probably say Little Mermaid. You can see my friend Flower. I have always loved The Little Mermaid. Her story is so powerful, and I've always for some reason had a weird metaphorical connection to my life in the form of like a gender bend analogy to like symbolize somebody wanting to become a part of another society or world, or kind of idea that they can't and they feel restricted by masculine identities and parents and authoritative figures, and they cannot either come out or step away from what they want, and they eventually break away from it. And I just think it's really powerful. Plus mermaids. This was a carefully worded question, and I appreciate you. And, well, alrighty. It took me a lot of time to come up with this answer, and I actually am still not positive. I'm still shaking on it, but it's a big step for me to even like answer this at all. So I think I'm pretty empathetic and intuitive with certain things relative to like other people's well-being and emotions. I feel pretty confident in my ability to be understanding and easygoing with people. Life is crazy, and if you can't be understanding of people and you expect other people to be understanding of you, it just makes life a lot harder. When you're willing to compromise and work with somebody and not judge them out of nowhere, it makes it a lot easier to form relationships and to make somebody feel better about themselves, and then potentially change a behavior that might be problematic for them that they don't know how to break away from. So I just think people deserve more time and attention and second chances. I'll try and swim my way away from this question because it's really awkward. So there was this one time where I did this thing, and it was very good reason for it, and it could have been a lot worse, but it was a little crazy. A good friend of mine and I, we wanted to get tattoos, and I was under 18, and I decided that I wanted to get it, and I wanted to get it now. And I had been in treatment for my anorexia and other things like that, so I'd been home for a little while from treatment, and I'd been kind of doing some outpatient work, and I still just wasn't getting a grip on recovery well. my weight had basically been much better and more stable, but mentally, like, was still getting worse. I needed something physical to represent my recovery because I felt like there wasn't any, and like I needed something to remind me every day. Like if I took like when I was changing my shirt in the mirror to like remind me what it is that I'm doing, like why is this important to me, and what it is was it was the recovery strap that I have tattooed on me on my chest, and it was a good reasoning behind the tattoo, so that was good. It was a really good price, and it ended up being safe, but it could have not been, because it ended up being in an apartment, and they used deodorant to smooth it on me and like get the stencil there, so that's sort of a sign that it's sort of like a jail tattoo. But the guy was really nice, and we went to Chinese after, and I'd never met him before, and my mom did not know about this, so it was definitely a shock to her when I told her. There may or may not have been some drugs involved on the other side of the tattoo gun. Very nervous when I did this because they were clearly in some sort of collective agency together. Let's call it a collective agency. Their little group there was definitely gathering a bit and exchanging some goods, and there were lots of things going on that I was not comfortable with and that I didn't know how to remove myself from the situation once I had already given him the money and he had already stenciled it on me. And I originally wanted my tattoo this way, and I wanted almost like a couple words with it, but I wasn't sure how to like say those words without feeling super awkward and needing to explain myself. So most people think I'm a drug addict, but I'm not. Arched this way. That's usually how test tattoos work. You get them this way, but mine is this way. And it came out well considering the methods. I was too nervous to tell him I wanted it the other way, so it could have been a lot worse. I was just going with it. I was like, this is safe. This is very good. So there I was, this barely 17-year-old white middle class boy, sort of gay and awkward and very much sitting there shirtless against a fridge on a milk crate with a saran wrap and deodorant stained stencil. Too nervous to tell him that the stencil was the wrong way. So I just sort of let him permanently draw it on my skin with a drill. It was good. Looking back, I'm definitely thankful that the needle was clean and that the guy was not trying to like do something harmful. It was a very good procedure. It went down safely and everything looked pretty good. So now that I have the flowers there, it looks really nice and I don't mind it anymore. So I originally started this YouTube channel because I had that very traumatic suicide attempt that I talked about a little bit in my video that I will put a little card here for up here. You can watch that if you'd like more context. But I got home from a suicide attempt that I was hospitalized for about like a week or two, and a lot of the leading up rising action to that unfortunate climax was that I didn't really have a purpose, I felt, and like I've always wanted to kind of do something a little bit more impactful and meaningful, and it's kind of hard to do that right now since I'm studying and like trying to get my bachelor's degree. But that was sort of my way of me trying to get my name out there and start to make an impact and have a voice and be able to do something that gives me some like instant gratification and some kind of literal something visual I can see that I'm doing and putting out there in the world. Also, the feedback I'm getting from people is very helpful and I really appreciate it. It's the building mastery portion of dialectical behavioral therapy that proves that this is actually something that's really helpful for me. So I spend a lot of time on this stuff and it means a lot to me to make these videos. So I super appreciate when people watch them because it helps a lot with my overall mental health. If you would like to join my journey, you can go ahead and subscribe by clicking my face, and I appreciate you and your existence. Keep your cringe on, be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you next time, hopefully. Please don't leave me.
I wish there was a situation to be mad at, or a person I could blame. I've got a loud mouth and pale with a ghost obsession, but behind the scenes with her I'm playing 21 questions.